Hey guys and gals, Doggo here. Unless you have been living under a rock, or you have more important things to do than keeping track of the latest gaming news, the latest installment of the Remedyverse has just launched, FBC Firebreak. Now, depending on where and when you get your info, people either call this a dog crap or a solid game. Well, I'm here to offer you my honest review. No shills, no glazing, just simple facts and logic. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start with the basic question. As you can tell, this game is set in the same universe as Control. Do you need to play Control in order to understand this game? No. But will it be beneficial for you to do that? We'll leave that for later. In any case, you are a first responder to any problems in the Oda's house, usually a volunteer from other departments. Either you volunteered or get volunteered. That remains murky. In terms of gameplay, it's basically identical with other extraction shooters. Get in, do the job, get out. As of the time of this recording, there are 5 missions that you can play through, with 2 new missions coming this year. On the most basic level, it focuses heavily on gunplay, with some melee on the side. But other than just pumping something full of lead until it's dead, the game also has elementals and status effects to take into consideration. Weapon-wise, guns, grenades, and skins are all shared. You can use it for every single class. The fun part is actually the missions. You can customize it to your satisfaction, but harder mission does grant better rewards. There are 3 ways to customize your mission. 1. Clearance. How long you want your mission to be. You want it to be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or 30 minutes. Threats. How much enemies you want. Do you want something sparse, or do you want your screens filled with nothing but hiss? And the third is corruption, but this only unlocks after you cleared a mission on clearance level 3, and this affects how many altar items you want to deal with in a specific mission. We'll get back to the altar items in a later portion of the video. Like any other extraction shooters, there are classes that you can use in this game, but they call it crisis kits instead. There are 3 to choose from: Splash, Fix, and Jump. Each kit has their strong suit and kit specific tools. And an important thing to note that each kit has their own levels, and upon reaching that level, you could equip 1 more perks while using that kit. Gameplay wise, there are no best kit to play, it really depends on you. Now, is it possible to end up in a mission with 3 of the same kits? Yes. Is it doable? Yes, but with extreme difficulty. In my experience, it is better to have 1 of each kit for the best results. Alright, now comes the pros and cons of this game. On the pro side, it really captures the feel of Control. If you play Control and you love it to bits like me, you will feel right at home with this game. In a sense, it feels more like a love letter to Control fans than a generic extraction shooter. Also, there's no pay to win. Each ability and utility items has to be unlocked by playing the game. You can't just drop a bunch of real life money and just get the best things. And this is my personal opinion, I like the vibe of this game. Truth be told, I kinda got tired with the military grade weapons in other extraction shooters. What makes this game stand out is the fact that a lot of their weapons and armor and everything is cobbled up from office supplies and what they can get their hands on. It's very DIY and I love it. It makes it memorable. But here comes the bad part. First part, there's no communication in-game. No text and no voice chat. The only thing there is basically a pinging system. Well, it works to a certain extent. It's kinda hard for people to know if they're pinging something for you to grab it or avoid it. Secondly, and this is something very important, this game draws a lot of things from Control. Thus, it is not friendly to people who never played it or never bothered with the lore. For example, I was down and the traffic light altar item was right next to me, and I have teammates rushing to revive me while the light was red, thus downing them as well. Secondly, I have teammates trying to melee and shoot astral spikes in the ground control mission, which if you know the lore, is not exactly something you want to do. For people who have played Control, dealing with them is natural, but to the uninitiated, their death seems illogical. Thirdly, and this is the biggest con of all, there's no tutorial for those new to Control. You learn from trial and error. Now for those who have played Control or have extensive knowledge of the universe, you will have a far easier time in this game. But for newbies, it can be frustrating, even a turnoff due to you dying to random stuff that's not enemies. In conclusion, Firebreak right now is a kind of a good game, but not perfect. The one big improvement that I would suggest is to put in a tutorial to teach the basics. Stop when the traffic light is red, don't get in the way of the astral spikes, don't walk through the fire, etc, etc. A second suggestion will be to expand the ping system. Put yes and no to the voice callout will drastically improve communications. Or you can just do the logical stuff and add a text box for people to type. Yes, people will get toxic and spew horrible things, but at least there's a better way to communicate. And more importantly, teach new players what to do and what to avoid. So thank you all very much for watching this, and I hope to see you guys and gals on the next game. Now if you excuse me, I'd like to go and play more Firebreak.